So, Spexy, my friend, Spexy CSGO on Twitter has a question. What can I do better in terms of decisioning as B anchor on DOS 2 CT side? Okay, goes closer around, double push. Interesting. But here already, right? Double push. One guy should hold right side. Other guy is going left. So now they also line up. So that can be really awkward. Let's see what happens if they're clearing it good. Nobody's even holding right or thinking about it. Now he gets 2 kills because he's clever, the T guy. Yeah. That's a classic mistake, but you guys have to think about how you move around the map, you know? Like one guy holding right, one guy holding left, and then you push forward, and then you can trade after. So basically, until now, he's doing the classic things, right? He's playing close, he's playing far. Flashing for his teammate. Good team play. Yeah. Surprised by they're so close, right? Okay, there's some good things we can work on here. I think I can help this guy a little. Okay, he plays AWP now. So here's important that in a program, okay, in a pro game, you have to all the time make sure that your build up looks the same. So right now I want to see if the Molotov, they are, so they cannot know if there's an AWP or not. It's always tough to push tunnels without any info. And that's what he's doing now and get a catch off guard. So for me, it's important that you push tunnels when you have numbers from the T. So right now it looks like on the radar that he has no information. Is this a gamble push? And I think by pushing B and you die, you are really destroying the CT side because now they can just split B in half and you lose the round or the game. Not the game, but the round. So yeah, that's a gamble push. I don't like that. I don't like to see something like that because if they had long control, they rush long, they have it. I think it's good to push upper tunnels, but yeah. All right then. Let's go into CS and see how we can help this poor guy. I think I have some ideas, some general rules he can apply to his game. So if you want to push upper tunnels, the scenario is that they're rushing long, your teammates are falling back, they say they have long, they're going back to catwalk or going down mid. Then you push 2 upper tunnels. You die 1, you trade 1, but all the information you gain here is that you basically can take low control and hold catwalk for your teammates. That means I can 3 guys in A full focus on long instead of getting sandwiched from short and mid, you know? So I think that's the time where you should push tunnels, and if you push tunnels without information, the T has always advantage because there's so many places he can sit. Like he can sit basically everywhere and hold tunnels, right? There's so many angles he can sit, and he can also just say this like headshot position, get the information, and stuff like that. So yeah, let's try to help him. I think what Specs is doing is pretty okay. I think he's molotoving, going close. If they're rushing, he is in their face and can spray them down. So far, so good. The grenade thing, I think he's doing often this grenade, and I think it's kind of a waste of a grenade because if you want to retake A or B, I think retake A, I think grenade can be really, really good. Or if he's playing side, he can throw a grenade in tunnels when they're doing, you know, when people are doing this one-way ST delayed, he can then throw a grenade in and spam, you know? Like if they're doing the smoke, he throws a grenade, he can spam. So I think he can use the grenade better for something. What pro players often do is that because of this Molotov, some teams are doing this deny and run through it delayed. That's why people are throwing these grenades in their face. So I think it can be good and bad, but I don't think you should do it every round. The T's will know about it. So the way you should build up the way you play alone B or basically anchor B is that you either come Molotov here, you go close like he does, and listen. Then you either can decide to smoke or you can walk back. And you have a teammate down mid often, right? That's one way to do it. Then the other way is that obviously you can just Molotov, doesn't from window or from here, and go playing side. I think this is always a good position, good area to be in, especially if you save your smoke, right? So if you just play to spot, you can just like shoulder peek like this, and then when they come, you smoke in front of yourself, like this, and you can play behind it, you basically make a wall. You can fight right side with the smoke, you have one way, 2 tunnels to shoot them. You can in theory also have one way here. You can jump up, and then you can kill the guy going car, whatever, you know. That's a really good way to play B, especially if you want to save your smoke, because I think if you're using your smoke too early on B, like so you do the molo, right? And you do the smoke after, so you smoke here, and you play, and you go back to side. I think it's really tough to play there if you play against a team who flashes a lot. You know, these flashes people throw, they bounce it in here while running, right? So I think it's really tough to fight there. But if you play alone B a lot and you have one purple down mid it's always purple, he's like all the time close down mid and you alone B, and there's nothing happening on the map, no long rush, whatever, then I think it's clever to smoke tunnels. I think then you can play in the smoke, and then hopefully purple will at some point understand he needs to help B, right? So yeah. And I think if you smoke tunnels, I think it's most clever to play in an all-in position, where it's not about buying time, but killing when they come out. So all-in position could be this one, so when they come out, you kill them. Or it could be this angle close here. All-in position could be on top here, where you can kill one, drop down, and then go here, you know? That will be all-in positions, especially if you use your smoke and don't have a smoke. So if you want to use a smoke early, I think playing close all-in positions are what's the best, you know? You can also play here, whatever. But what I mean is playing close and get the duels and try to make sure your teammate will trade off you. If you want to play it, like they're not really coming B, but when they come B, they're molo, they have whatever, and they do execute, then this smoke thing is really good, and you just play off it. You know, you can put it everywhere. You can put it like more right, so you can play here. It all depends on how you want to play it. But there's so many opportunities here where you can survive a long time in the smoke, and by surviving the smoke for, let's say there's a CT guy, right? And there's a smoke and you can't find him, you have so much focus on T that you create opportunities for your teammates to come through window, flashing above, or whatever, you know. So I saw one round where he was flashing like this and not fighting mid. So I think agreement is really important, right? So if you're playing Dust 2 with a friend and you're always playing together, what you can do really good is that you decide when you want to fight B and when you want to fight door. So you have a teammate, you say, let's go watch this Karrigan YouTube video together. Nice, you subscribe, you like the video. So what setup you can have is basically you have one guy here, right? Shoulder peeking, spotting, whatever, how you want to do it. But he is getting first contact. And you have one guy in here, or he can just play outside here. But main thing is he's spotting mid. Then, if they're doing one way, you know, this T. If T's are doing this one way that I talked about before, not like that, but you know what I mean. So this smoke, you can't really have the info. If you have a Molotov, you shoot from the other guy. He can Molotov behind it. You wait, you see if they come out. They're not out mid yet. Okay, when the Molotov is about to fade, you can double nade in it, because you didn't use your nades. Double nade in it, and then I will have one guy spamming with the H's, and they basically use their smoke. As it's fading, you can re-smoke behind it, and you still have it. So you use the smoke for a smoke. So, if they do B-split, right? Here comes the key thing. If they're doing B-split and playing the setup where one guy's spotting here, one guy there, you need to decide really fast. Okay, let's fight tunnels or fight mid. If you fight tunnels, what you do is you smoke door here, right? And you go close tunnels. And then if there's a one-way or whatever, you get a flashbang from your teammates on site. And I don't have a perfect lineup flash, but just make sure it's not too deep. Like this one is a little too deep, I would say. Then he could flash here. And then he can make sure that this guy is going close tunnels, inside tunnels, you know. So he's inside this area and just playing all in, because now you're not fighting mid. This guy who flashed now knows, okay, I can play here and just holding window because there's smoke door. And you know, if you're smoking door when they're smoking B split, their smoke down here will fade before you smoke. Does that make sense? So yeah, suddenly you switch your attention to tunnels. And by playing this position, let's say this position, if the guy gets killed in tunnels, this guy can trade, you know? He hold right side, left side, and he's holding window. But he should hold window. If he gets blind, he can just say, I'm blind. And it's hard for the T's to come out, clear all the angles, and take this area. If you don't want to push tunnels, you just do the smoke here. And you kind of play crossfire. You go in car, and you hold window for this guy. Like this. And then you can have the guy on the window just holding tunnels like this. Or you can both like play off each other but this duel, I don't know if you like this duel, or this, whatever. As long as you don't get killed from window, or like I said before, this angle here, so you trade off your teammate. If they come out tunnels, you can trade your teammate, unless they run right here, but you're at least positioned to trade. If they come window, you can turn around and kill. So that's a crossfire you can do on B. So the two options I gave, if they do B split, you do the crossfire on B, you say we stay B, you say fight tunnels with smoke door and push steer. If the guy is saying, if you already agree, you should already agree before the B split comes, let's fight mid if they do B split. It's really important you say that before so you're on the same page. Not saying like randomly, fight tunnels, you know? You have to be on the same page. So your teammate knows, okay, we're gonna fight mid if they come B split. If what I said, like, you see B split smoke, you smoke tunnels, and you're ready to fight outside B. That means the guy here is ready, whatever, holding tunnels, and then this guy calls the flash, and you can just throw a flash here. I don't have perfect flash, but what you just want to make sure is that the flash is not flashing your teammate, and you can come around here and fight mid, you know, with the flashbang. Does that make sense? So the guy who's here is smoking tunnels, when he see B split smoke, and then he's spotting, he's jumping or whatever, and see one out mid, then he calls the flash and he goes out and kills the guy. Kills the guy and goes back. Don't overcommit outside. Or there's another option. If you fight mid, you are already knowing it. You already know it. You smoke tunnels and you fight. One guy's playing here in window, holding if they come B through the smoke. This guy is holding like an off angle here, whatever. You know this, like an angle like this, even though it's not good position. That means this guy in window, the second he gets contact, he comes out, and I have the same angle. You know, so you're playing like off each other. That's how you should handle B split. You have 3 options. And then you can decide with your teammate. You go through the YouTube video. I think you should. Yeah. I think besides that, maybe an AWP on B. I always think playing backplate is good, especially if you have a smoke. Yeah, different angles, right? What else is there? I think that's most key positions. I'm not sure if you like this position, but all could be really good here. I know, obviously, my fans say Anya is holding B like this. You get the kills. This is a key information. Like, let's say it's 110, nothing's happened on B. They have catwalk. They're not doing anything from B. They don't have long control, and you have a rotator down mid, right? As CT. And it's really important you say to him, we're gonna fight mid if they do B split, or you say we're gonna fight B if they do B split. Because by smoking doors, and your teammate wants to go through the smoke, then obviously the T's have only window and this smoke to hold, right? So if your in-game leader wanted to fight through the smoke, then obviously it's not a good idea. So you need to be on the same page. From outside B is a good old tunnel. Depends on how people do executes. In pro games, I don't think so. Unless you are gambling like 1-4, you have one guy down mid, left side here, and you have an orb outside B. I think if they do the B execute, you never really want to give B for free to T's, because if they do B execute and they have smokes to re-smoke door, everybody has seen the statistics, retake B on those two is literally impossible. How do people count these options? I think it's hard to counter the B things options. I think if you're playing behind side, you add Molotov. In pro games, you often know how the B player likes to play B, right? If he likes to save his smoke or not. But if he likes to save his smoke and they don't play double orb, I think searching with orb is really good. Or what you want to do is, what you often want to do is T, to kind of destroy the CT plans, is to do the one way after the Molotov. Because the sooner the CTs are using the smoke, the better it is. Because let's say as an in-game leader, you take catwalk and you ask the B-tunnel guy, did they use any smoke zombie? And he says no, and there's 50 seconds left. It's really, really tough, right, to make it a good B split. Because what they can do is just basically smoke tunnels, and then they can have B split like this, because you can't really jump through it. You can't really kill the guy if he's playing it good and just holding window from here, right? So it's really important that you bait utility from the CT. So yeah, that kind of will fuck up what I'm talking about now. Oh, not fuck up, but will beep up the situation I'm talking about, right? It's all about adaptation. How you, it's different in Faceit compared to pro games, but I'm trying to put it down a level where you guys can kind of understand what I'm saying. I think how to smoke door from outside tunnels, I think there's different ways. I think YouTube is always a good place to find it. I think this smoke we're using, we're just going in front of the pole here. aiming up here, and there's a small gap there, and you jump through it. The reason why I'm throwing the smoke is basically because it's outside the doors, you know? You see it's really good smoke. The CTs can't be right side of it or left side, because normally what you see people smoke is like this, you know? And he can basically go right side of it and kill people. So you can clip it, flip it, and ship it to your teammates how to smoke doors. There's a big white dot there. Whoopty. It's all a decision making, right? And now we're talking big picture, how the team move. I think if you don't see anyone suicide, you should play 2 guys B. And I always think you can play kind of 1 B and 1 here to begin with. Because anyway, this guy can support you good. Like I said, Specs is good. I think playing close to begin with is good. Then if nothing happens, your teammate can smoke for you. Right? And he can stay mid. And then you still have a smoke left, and you just have a smoke for late round where you do the smoke in front of yourself, or you smoke doors and you fight tunnels, or you smoke tunnels, you fight mid, like I talked about. It's all about thinking. You need a key agreements on how to play B, and you need to have a teammate with you, but I tried to also did some single plays you can do where you're playing like all in positions or whatever. Alright, I think this is for the B anchor does 2 then, boys.